Hi guys, welcome back to our channel where we are on a mission help people to upskill and earn more. As a part of the SD-WAN series 0 to Hero, we understand that getting started with a new technology can be challenging, but we are here to make it easy for you. Today we are going to talk about the Cisco SD-WAN controller onboarding. In this video, we will take you through the each step process to onboard the Cisco SD-WAN controllers from creating to your own CA server to generate the root certificate and then the further certificate for the vManage, vBond, vSmart, so that by the end of this video, you will have a complete understanding of how to onboard the Cisco SD-WAN controller, whether you have worked on a SD-WAN or just trying to or just starting to explore the world of the SD-WAN. This video is for you. We will make sure to keep the things simple, straightforward, right? So you can get the most out of it. So if you have not subscribed our channel until now, please go ahead to click the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you never miss a beat of the series, and also share with your friends, colleagues whom this can be helpful. Let's get started onboarding the Cisco SD-WAN.
And password, whatever you have set up on the CLI, you have to try with that. Admin. So right now, nothing is here on the dashboard. To bring those on the dashboard, first stuff I need to do is that I need to uh, set up my CA server so that I can, do the certification part, because I am going to use my enterprise certificate. However, this does have the certificate for the semantic. So if I'll do certificate root cert chain, all this output is actually indicating that it does have the semantic and DG certificate. So if I'll take you to the upstream, went up, I can quickly do a little bit filter on that. So signature algorithm. So you see the subject O is Cisco, C and Viptela, and so on. So I can do source certificate root cert chain include S by DG. So you can see those DG cert are in place and all those stuff, right? So what I want, instead of using these DG cert, I want to use my enterprise certificate. So what I can do is that first thing is that I need to set up my CA server. So to set up my CA server, and it is not a repetitive job, so don't be afraid. I am going to, and it shouldn't be come under your skill. It can be done by someone else, and the one who manage the CA server and all those stuff. But in this case, we are doing in the lab. So I will set up the CA server on the Linux, and the CA server can be set up on any other platform, maybe Windows or something like that, right? So in this case, I'm going to set up my CA server. So here I don't have any Linux Docker in this one. So what I'll do is that I'll use my EVNG machine for setting up the CA server. Okay, so simply I'll connect here the IP address. What is that here?
So can you give me a copy of vBond and vSmart configuration?
Yeah, sure. So give me 1 second. Let me click on that.
Which is showing that is an inbuilt certificate, right? So just
Yeah. So the certificate, whatever you are seeing on the vManage or either any of them, you will see, even you will run the same command on the vManage sorry,
We don't want to generate the certificate, right? It's already there, right?
no, this is the certificate, which is the Cisco one, which Cisco does have
Cisco.
inbuilt into it. But now, because of
So
we are not going to ask for the certificate request to them, we will use our enterprise root certificate.
okay,
We will,
that enterprise actually CA, we will send this certificate to enterprise and attach attach with the CA, or we'll request a new certificate. What's the process?
so what if you, okay, so there are two things. One is that if you are using the Cisco, you don't need to do the next step. I will tell you what step has to
Oh,
be done to, use the
oh,
Cisco. If you are using your one,
no.
then that is the process I'm going to do it.
Okay, okay, good,
Okay.
good, good. Okay, good, good.
So, and I mean,
Normally, production, which is normally using Sujit.
so in a production, 95% organization go with the Cisco itself. Only
Correct.
5% go with yours. I mean, with the
Okay.
enterprise. Same for the B1. So all the certificate root cert chain is available in all the devices. I mean, all the images of Cisco. Okay. So let's move on the next step. Okay. So my next step is to
Okay.
build the CA server. And for the build the CA server, I am using the EVNG Linux machine, which we have. So, and you don't need to actually create that, because I will create and then you can use the same root search chain. Okay. So I have built the document for that. So it says that make change the host name of that to CA. I will indeed not make that. I'll just directly go on the,
This means that EVNG will be our CA, right?
yeah, EVNG machine will additional do the work of the creating, acting as an
Ah,
CA server. Okay.
okay.
So I'll first thing is that I'll do the sudo apt-get ntp to make sure that ntp is up to date. Mm, ntp minus p. This is just for pre-requested, just to make sure that ntp is good so far. So now this is where we are using openssl to set up the CA server, and you can use the Windows, if you Windows server, if you have the capability. Right now I'm just using the Linux for that. Okay. So I'll say nano openssl, and inside of that it says look for the following section. It says dir demo CA, and once you find that, change it to the dir root CA. Okay, so I'll go ahead and find that statement inside of this file. So it says demo.demo CA. I'll say root slash CA, because this is the folder I'm going to create in a few minutes. Okay. And also says that you might also want to take a look on the default policies. So it says, oh, everything is a match. What I'm just going to mark it everything as an optional. Okay. So what does it mean by that? When the CA server will look, CA server is going to look for those attributes and all those stuff. So I'll say country name instead of match. I'll say optional. OPTIONL. I have made everything optional, but you can make it maybe organization name same as, and it shouldn't be changed.
So just spelling optional.
Yeah, I made a mistake on that. So this is the only change which we have to. I have changed it to the country name, to the match, and all that stuff, and then you can save it, right? Now I can say Control O, press enter, and Z, which will say saved. Now, what I can do further is go ahead to follow the next step. It says sudo su to go into the make dir root. So you remember that I set up the one directory with this path root ca, right? So I'm creating the dir with that. Now go inside the dir, create these many directories inside of the ca folder. And if I'll do ls minus l, you see all these directories which I have created, right? Next, what I will do is that touch.index. So it says we also require two files. The first one is called index.txt to keep the track, and the second one is the serial. So the serial number which I was talking about, that from where the certificate will give it, is this is where it will give. So whatever the number you will write it here, let's say I say 2021. Okay. Now my serial number will start from this, and the serial number will be extracted into the certificate itself, right? So now it says that you have created the serial file. So if you see here ls minus l, you have created the serial, and you do the more serial, it will tell you that first one would be the 2021. Okay, will be the starting point for your serial number. So I'll do the create the root private key to make sure that when the my CA server is used, the password is being used for that. Okay. So it says set up the password. What password you want to set up? So I'll say, let's say uh, uh SD-WAN at 123. Okay, SD-WAN at 123. So now what it does is that it has created a private, a secure key inside the private directory. So if I'll do uh, cd private ls minus l, I can see the ca private key is there. Okay, so this is a key which I have to always use to generate the certificate, else my ca server will reject it. Now what I'll do again, I'll go back, and next command what I'll do is we can now use the root private key to create the root certificate. So what I'm going to do is that now I am going to create my root certificate chain, which will be used to validate the certificate coming under my umbrella, which means that I will be only able to approve the certificate which are being issued by my CA server. Okay, so I'll just copy this command which says openssl, use the CA private key PEM out of the cacert.pem. So I'll say cacert.pem, and it says SD-WAN at 123, the password which I set up. Now it says which country you want to do it. So I'll say IN, state, and province. I'll say Delhi. Okay. It says locality or city name. I'll say again Delhi. Organization name. So my organization name should be the same as I'm using there for my certificate authority part. So I'll say network lab. It should be the exactly same which I'm going to apply on my CA server. Organization unit name, I'll just say network lab. Let me quickly check. We should be giving it, or we can skip that. Yeah, we have to give it. Okay, common name or your name, no. Email address, I'll say SD-WAN, and I can give any name. I mean, email ID, nothing matters. So I'll just give local. Now my root cert chain has been created. So if I'll say ls minus l, there is cacert.pem is actually my root cert chain. So this is the file which I have got it, isn't it? My root cert chain. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'll connect on this one and pull this file to my PC. Okay. So let me do that. 10.0.1.18. I can use the FileZilla client or maybe even SCP, whichever I want to use. Yeah, that's what I need to try. Get to work. Close the other one. Okay, so inside of this, you remember that I created a directory called CA inside the root folder. So this is a root folder and I'm inside the CA. I'll click here and we'll click on this. So cacert.pem. Okay, so this is the where I have it. Okay, now what I'll do is that I'll create a folder.
This is the root CA.
It's the root cert chain file.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just the name is a cacert.pem. You can give any name. Okay, but in this case, I have used the cacert.pem. Okay. Uh, Let me go back on the desktop and I'll see create directory SD-WAN lab. Okay, inside this SD-WAN lab, I will move this folder file. Now, if you go to the Windows D and you go inside the SD-WAN left folder, this one. So let me go ahead to do one thing is that let me go ahead to install this root certificate in my vManage now. Okay, so I'll simply go on my vManage GUI and inside the vManage GUI, there is a section called set, administration, the one where you see the two user symbol. Go inside the setting and inside the setting, if you click here, it asks you to set up the organization name. So you should be setting up the organization name, network lab. Okay, save. Bond, what is your Bond name? Bond dot lab dot local, right? What is your hardware vManage certificate authorization? On box, controller certificate authorization, Cisco. So on this one, there are multiple options which we can use. So it says Cisco automated, which is recommended. What does it mean by that? It will send the request automatically to the Cisco and Cisco will take care of that certificate. Other one is that Symantec automated. That's where the request will be sent directly to the Symantec. You can use the manual or the last one is the enterprise, which we want to use. So I'll go ahead to click here. And when I click on the enterprise root certificate, you can select the file which you want to use as your root certificate. Okay, so I'll click here. We'll say cacr.pem, open, and that's where you got your the root certificate chain installed. Now I'll set the CSR properties for the future certificate issued. So I'll say domain name lab.local. Okay, secondary organization is also same. Organization is also same. The city, I'll say Delhi. State, I can say Delhi again. Email address, I can say lab.local, oh, sorry, SDWAN at lab.local. And in country name, you can type IN. Okay. And here you can say the validity, whatever you want to put. Right. So I'll say enterprise save. Now, if you see, it has been changed to the enterprise. Now, if you remember, the root certificate on the vManage previously was something related to the DG-cert, right? Now, if I will do so certificate root cert chain, let me put it in code network. Certificate root cert chain installed. Good. So you can see my certificate is also inserted into it. So you can see Delhi Network Lab, OU, email ID, whatever we put it, right? So so far, so what I have done is that I have installed the vManage root cert chain. I have not installed the certificate yet. So if you look here on the vManage, so certificate installed, no certificate installed. Also, if you do so control local properties, you will see the serial number is nothing here, right? No certificate installed, which means that you don't have any certificate. It is a you don't have any serial number because you have not installed the certificate yet, right? So to install the certificate, first thing is that I need to ask my certificate team to issue the certificate corresponding to my sign in request. So I'll go in the configuration certificate. Inside the certificate, I will go on the controller. In the controller, it says that the vManage is this certificate is not installed. So what I'll do is I'll click here and we'll see generate CSR. Okay. When I'll see generate CSR, you can download this file. So what is the CSR is a certificate sign-in request, which does have some specific attribute of the vManage. So I'll click on the download and we'll save to, must be going on the default path. Let me go ahead. vManage 1.csr. I'll quickly go in my download folder. So this is the new file. I'll copy this new file, right? And will go in my folder, whichever I want, I used for, connect to this thing. Where is the HTML lab? Here, I will paste it on my folder. I mean, in the summary, I need to move this file to the my CA server. So I need to send this file to the CA server. Okay. Now this is yet on my local system. Now I'll do go connect on the FileZilla. We'll refresh here. And here inside the request folder, I'll create the directory and I'll create a directory by name Surjit. Suraj, I'll say vManage.csr should be moved to the Surjit. And now this file is inside my CSR. Now what I'll do is that I'll connect to my this guy CA server, and we'll get into that directory to issue the certificate. ls-l cdca request Suraj ls-l. So I'll create a separate folder for you so that you have to go into your folder. Okay. So what I need to do is that I need to issue the certificate for against the CSR. So what I'll do, openssl ca minus in means input, and I'll say vManage CSR minus out vManage dot, it's a little slow, and I can say pem or dot set. Okay, I'll say pem. Now it asked me the password which I set up previously. So SD-WAN at 123. It is using those attributes and all that stuff to generate the certificate. And you see the vManage chassis ID. So ACD17001. If I'll go back on my vManage, ACD1700 is the chassis number, which means the sign-in request is being originated from this device, and it will be able to work on this one only. So I'll say yes to one-to-one file. Yes. And if I'll do ls-l now, my certificate is being issued called a vManage.pem. I need to move this file from here to my directory and need to install that on my vManage. I'll go back on the GUI. We'll say install certificate. So I have to click here and install certificate. Now I'll say select file, vManage.pem, right? And you can see all the information related to the certificate. So if you see on the vManage, until here, there is a no serial number, right? So it says serial number no. So if I'll click on install, I should get if it got successfully completed, I should get the serial number uploaded on it. It says success. And now once it says success, if you go ahead and you try the serial number now, it says that you've got the serial number 2021, right? So the serial number is actually extracted from where? From my certificate itself, right? And you can see it says the root search and installed, certificate installed, what time, vBond, chassis number, and all those stuff. Clear?
Clear.
So for the software device on the vMan on the controller, the serial number is actually extracted from the certificate. Now, if you are using Cisco or the Semantic, you just need to send the CSR file to them by extracting the CSR from your certificate, right? From your vManage to the certificate, to them, and they will issue the certificate against that. So far, I have completed the vManage certificate part. Okay. Now, what I need to do is that I need to complete the vBond and vSmart. So for that, I will go in the configuration devices. Inside the devices, I'll click on a controller. in the controller. So far, so I have a certificate installed for vManage, but I don't see any other controller. So for that, I'll add it.